back to my channel. It's just Lynette here, and today, yes, I am going back to relaxers. This is like a very nerve-wracking and also just a little exhilarating moment for me right now, and it took a long time for me to get to this moment. Like, I'm talking months, like probably 6 to 8 months of just thinking and contemplating and processing. And I finally came to the point where I made that decision, and that for me, and I'm gonna tell you guys why I made that decision. And right now, you can see my hair is currently, no, my hair is not relaxed right now. I'm just clear on that. This is actually a silk press, or silk press, not so great silk press, but had it for a couple of days. My strands are actually a little fuzzy. I don't know if you can tell, but this is just an old silk press that I had. And the reason for me having the silk press right now, even though I'm going to relax, is because I wanted to make sure I wasn't making an impulsive decision and I was just jumping into something out of like emotion. And I was just jumping into something out of emotion and not like thoroughly like thinking it all through. So I said, you know what? I feel like I'm like 90%, like I've 90% had my mind made up, but like, let me just do a silk press. Let me just see if I still feel the same way, if I still want it after that. So hence why my hair is like this right now. But like, the reasons why I decided I want to go natural, and like I wrote points down because I'm like, I need to remember this stuff. I need to just like get straight to the point and like just lay it all out. One, manageability. Now, my natural hair texture is 4C, high porosity. And if you are 4C, you already know the deal. The shrinkage, the tangles, the fragileness, the breakage, the dryness, all that in a bag of chips. And it was a lot. The manageability was exhausting. It was daunting. It took forever. Now don't get me wrong, I love my 4C hair. Like, I was a very proud natural. Still am. Like, I was like the natural advocate. Okay, I've been natural for 6 years, and I will show you guys that I was like the flat tips queen. I will insert images where I can, but like, my little twist outs, braid outs, girl, they used to be popping, okay? But I realized my natural hair was not popping the way it used to be. It wasn't snapping the way it used to be. It wasn't shining the way it used to be. And I understand that there were things that happened over the course of my life that affected those things. And I kind of have to be like an adult about it and kind of just accept that things happen and things change and my body changed. And I had to accept that. Second point, and if I'm looking down, I have my notes like written out, so yeah. Stress. I was going through several seasons of stress, and a lot of that stress was as a result of my job, my workplace, and everything I was responsible for. I went through different seasons of extremely high stress to where I experienced a lot of hair shedding, and it wasn't because I was necessarily doing anything wrong. It was just like my brain, my mind, it was on 10 all the time. I was overwhelmed. I was always tired. I was always going through it. I'm like, I can't keep doing this. This is not life. And just the thought of having to go into a 5, 6, 7 hour process of wash, detangle, deep condition, blow dry, style, process. Oh, I can't forget pre-poo. Like, that whole process that took like 70 hours of the time that I already barely had, it just added on top of the stress that I already had. And I was like, this ain't it. This is not healthy. I can't keep like feeling like this mentally, because I want to, but I don't have the energy. And that kind of leads me to my next point, which is depression. All of these things that came to the fact that my body was changing, I was getting older, I had like gained some weight, my job was stressful, my hair was a lot. um, I was kind of in a place in my mind where I fell into depression, and it was not cute. It was not fun. Like, I'm finally in a place right now where I'm on my way out of that season, and I give all the thanks and the glory to God, because it was a rough time. It was a rough time for me, and I did not have it in me. I didn't have the will, the want, the need, the energy to devote anything really to my hair. A lot of times I was just throwing away. Honey, them things, my wigs, my laces used to be lacing. My things was staying. Like, they were cute, but they were easy and they were fast, and I kind of hid behind the wigs, not because it was faster than me trying to attempt to go through the hassle of dealing with my natural hair. And I knew what I had to do. I knew what needed to be done, but just the thought of knowing how long it was gonna take me was enough discouragement. And I couldn't do it. There was a lot that I couldn't do. You can tell, and it's funny because you can tell, it's not always obvious when someone's going through depression, but I never really knew what depression looked like until I was in it myself. And I realized that me, someone who was like very punctual, on my P's and Q's, very clean, very on point with everything, and like my world was just slowly turning to chaos. Like, I wasn't on time anymore. Like, my home was becoming a mess. Like, I felt like my brain was just being projected into my surroundings, and that wasn't healthy. And I didn't want that to continue. So I understood that something needed to change. And usually in those moments, it's like I either chop my hair off or I don't know, like, we're gonna get a cut, a color, something drastic has to happen. Like, and it's just something that's very like freeing for women, like as far as cutting your hair off. But I'm like, see, this face right here, it's real round. And I'm like, I don't know if I can do another hair chop. Right now with such a round head, let me get a little bit more chisel in my cheeks, and then we can talk about chop. But I'm like, I felt like I needed to relieve some of this stress. So I'm like, I'm about to chop my hair off so I don't have to deal with this. But I'm like, I don't want to chop my hair off just yet. And I'm like, and if I'm going to cut it off anyways, I might as well just straighten it. Let me see if I like that more before I just go in for the jugular and just chop. So, yeah. And that leads me to my next point, which I kind of already touched on, which was time. I said this like in almost every other point. Time was of the essence. I didn't really feel like I had it, trying to manage everything else in my life that I wanted to achieve, and that it just took too much time. And into my next point, breakage, dryness. The process of trying to detangle my hair was just ridiculous. The process of trying to straighten my hair was just ridiculous. And I would get breakage. My hair would get dry. Even if I did protective style, I would get breakage. Even if I blow dried, I would get breakage. Even if I air dried, I would get breakage. Like, and I would protein treatment. I would do my moisture treatments. Like, it was frustrating. Like, I had cut a significant amount of my hair off, and it still didn't like. It was like I cut my hair into a bob. It was like right here, and it was cute. And my ends were fresh, crispy. Like, my ends were sharp, cut. It was cutting people, okay? Like, my ends were popping, but like, I don't know. It was like, yeah, my ends are cool, but I was doing protective styles after that. I'm like, my hair has to grow, and it did. Like, my hair definitely grew from the bob that I had it in. But my ends looked pretty much how they looked when I had cut them before the bob. And I was like, what's happening here? Okay, so yeah, I was like, okay, my ends thrive the most when they're straight. The only times that I can recall that I would have like little to no breakage is when I had the silk press. That is the only time where I can say I can run a comb through my hair, nothing comes out. You know, or my hair is like in a ponytail all day, like, or not necessarily that, what am I trying to say? I had like a brain fart. But like when I had a silk press, like I feel like those were the only times where I like retained all the length that I grew for that time period. So like, I think the most I've stretched the silk press for is like a month or so. And that's like the only time where I feel like I actually retained all of that length. For the time frame, I wasn't seeing no breakage. There wasn't a bunch of hair in the sink. And yes, I know finger detangling is a thing, but again, time. These hands don't got the time. I don't have the patience. I'm just be honest with you. I don't have the patience. And if I know this, I need to be an adult about it and accept the fact that that just ain't me. My life does not give me the flexibility to do that. And that's okay. I had to accept that's okay. Okay? Cool. And yeah, that's pretty much all the reasons why I wanted to do it. And then I'm gonna kind of tell you guys what I'm looking forward to once I actually get this process started. So, like for me right now, the goal is just to have manageable, healthy hair. That was the goal, that is the goal, that will continue to be the goal. Regardless of what state my hair is in, the goal is manageable, healthy, thick hair. And that's all I want. In whatever state that is, whatever state that looks like, that's the journey I want to be on. I want to have healthy hair. I want to have a healthy life. And my hair state does not determine its health. I determine my hair's health by the amount of effort that I put into it, by the amount of TLC that I put into it. I just want to put a little bit more. I just want to put a little less time into it. That's all. That's all it is. So yeah, at the end of the day, that's the goal. And you know, right now, like we just have so much more resources available for us as far as, you know, hair products and understanding, you know, your hair type, your hair porosity, you know, things that kind of combat chemical processing and breakage and bonds and protein, things that I had no clue about when I was a teenager. Zero. All I knew was oil and flat iron. Boy, I fried my hair off. But it's different now. And I feel like now I can be more conscious about these things and really be able to find a balance for myself where I can truly have hair that flourishes the way I need it to flourish. So yeah, with that being said, that kind of sums up, you know, my whole thought process behind everything. And like, it's not, and this is not to validate myself or feel like I need to explain something to somebody, like, but I feel like this was beneficial because I felt like I needed a change. I felt like I needed to go in a different direction. And I felt like someone else needs to see this. Like, someone else needs to hear it's okay. It's okay if you cannot devote the time, the energy, the effort to your hair. It's okay if it's not thriving right now. It's okay if you need to change, if you need it to make it more manageable and accommodating to the type of lifestyle that you have. And it does not mean that you don't love yourself. It does not mean that, you know, you think it's not good enough. You just need to change. That's it. This is all a journey. Like, nothing is a life sentence here. What we do with these dead follicles on our head, you should wear it like a badge of honor, regardless of what state it is in. Straight, wavy, curly, textlat, whatever. It is your crown. It is your crown. And your goal is to just make sure that crown flourishes. Period. That's it. However you can make it flourish, make it flourish. And that's it. So, thank you guys so much. I hope I inspired someone. I hope that I helped someone. Because that's really what this was for. It wasn't to seek validation. It was to kind of just be like, me too. Like, if you feel that way, don't feel like it's just you. Me too. So thank you guys. Until next time, God bless you. Bye.